See, and I've even learnt heaps stepping out of a theological mindset. It damages, I believe, the sensitivity to the passage of time. For instance, Nietzsche wrote about the slain in the spirit, church bodies falling to the ground. That never worked on me. I would weep a bit. It was my to the point where I needed friends to say, Luke, quit fucking just crying at this story. But yeah, if it boils down to attrition causing a man who loved life so much to go through and contend with suicidal thoughts and feelings while they put the horizontal axis plank of the crucifix already on his back, think that he was, yeah, obviously would have wanted what he was going through to be over, and obviously knew that was going to be his death. But what it did was, the word didn't exist, bisexual, and as we switch and modify our interpretations of scriptural content in relation to empirical discoveries, I mean, where heaven and hell, if you got someone on the other side of the globe now pointing to where's heaven, they'll be pointing out into the diagonally opposite region of space relative to me. And yet this was where they thought heaven was, and you could walk off the edge of the earth and fall endlessly. And so this actually comes from pre-Copernican two-dimensional maps, heaven and hell. I also think it's oxymoronic, as it is with the word supernatural, to say afterlife and then have the audacity. It's like, I don't like John Edwards and people that claim they can talk to the dead and then have administrators go and ask the weeping woman about her story, not revealing that she's a winger to the cold reader and the psychic. And then that's actually called a hot reading, when a work associate directly feeds information to the psychic. Cold reading works by random guesses that they begin random and then they start to zone in on more specific claims and statements. And Harry Houdini went around calling it all humbug after his mother died. He'd done his duty as a magician, and he thought, he was honest enough to say what we're doing is magic, it's tricks. We've designed it. Penn and Teller would the same. Copperfield, and so they're not exploiting their performance or their duty of care to solicit your faith as an investment in them. And because I've practiced trying to engage philosophically in debates, I did like this story credited to Jesus in a parable about a foolish man who built his house on sand. And the tide came in and the house collapsed. And I saw it as analogous to the ideas that we hold dear, how they become second nature over a short amount of time. And for that reason alone, Christianity can be charged with being a suicide cult, because if Calvary is a bullshit concept and he carried his cross up the hill in a suicidal state, and then you've got St. Paul writing, take up your cross and follow me. There was more blatant suicide in Moses' story. After the Ten Commandments, he sees them worshipping the golden bull, orders them all to commit suicide. So you can get trapped by saying, follow Jesus.